An absolute whirlwind of Tuesdays have come and gone. So let's get caught up. Boys and girls, it's really hard to believe that an entire month has gone by, and it's been crazy. I talked last time about a bunch of things that were just on the cusp of happening. It's been every Tuesday for the last 4 or 5 Tuesdays. Now here we are, we can finally take a knee, get caught up. There's been a lot of stuff going on, man. I'm recording this after all this footage to put at the beginning, so you will see future me in the past who is in the, we're doing that thing again. First, I have a massive freezer in my garage. The engine is now over there. You'll see something about that, because that's a thing. Happened on a Tuesday. Then Mrs. BC got her first treatment. We'll talk about that at the end because I talk about it later. And then the next Tuesday was the Tuesday after Father's Day. My son's car was like acting up. I went out, recovered his car, brought it back, which was quite a special Tuesday. Not only was I in the garage getting his car, running back mint and fixing some things, which ended up being a coil pack issue. It was also my first day of absolute and total liberation. Like, I'm done, guys. Like, I'm done. I am done. All that stuff I talked about, going in, clearing out, processing, all that stuff, it's over. It's done. All the paperwork signed. I'm a free guy. I'm a free guy with a new life, doing whatever I want to do. Hopefully that lasts for a while. And then this last Tuesday was Mrs. BC's second treatment. And again, we talk about that a little bit later. But before that, I made a trip out to Tyler's house. I say all that to say, I took some of y'all's advice and I've been filming all the little things, all as they happen, all on these Tuesdays. And I'm gonna put them all together for you now. I think we're finally at a place where things are starting to get normal. All the things that have been conflicting and disagreeing with each other and holding things back, I think they're all kind of chilling out now, except for this heat wave. And again, we'll talk about that later. So, without any further ado, enjoy the first clip, which, if I remember right, should be me processing my chickens. So enjoy. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. We're farming today. Day has come. Been 2 months. These little boys and girls who were chicks 2 months ago are going to become chicken today. We spent all day yesterday at another family farm doing all their birds, a total of 49. We only have 18 to do of our own today. I thought I'd show you some of that process so you know where your food comes from and the people that do it. I'll make sure I'm sparing you all the really gory stuff. Let me get these girls loaded up in this makeshift tonneau covered chicken cage that I made. Let's hit the road. All right, everybody's on the bus. Who's ready to go to freezer camp? Me. We out here. We at another family farm, friends of ours. We're not starting yet. We got to wait for this tank of water to heat up. I'm going to show more of this later. And again, I'll keep it sensitive so it's not... I'm not going to show a bunch of blood, guts, and all that stuff. E for everyone. There we go. We'll pick them up out of here. They'll go into these upside down, feet up this way, neck down that way. And this is where they get dizzy, they black out, and then then they come over here. This is heated up to 150 degrees. You dunk them like 3 times, swirl them around. Then you get to take them over into the finger massage. And this thing spins around and they get like smacked around by these little rubber fingers. And it basically just strips all the feathers off of them until it's just a naked chicken. Then they come over here onto this table, legs, head, neck, guts, all that stuff is removed, and this is all considered the dirty side of the operation. Then they come over here, they get rinsed a few different times, and then finally coming over here, portioning out, sectioning out, vacuum sealing, boom, into the cooler. Well, they're gonna go in the cooler first. Before that happens, they have to be reduced to like 40 degrees internal temperature, because again, these are living creatures and they're very warm when all this starts. So we're just waiting on the water to heat up here, and yeah, time to take them to freezer camp. All right, so they've come out of the cone. Again, I wasn't gonna show you that. We're just dipping them now. Opens the skin, like the pores and stuff, loosens all the feathers. Take them over here to the massage machine. Click the tumbler on. And this, you just wanna rinse the outside edges too. Yeah. So
just tumble around, and these fingers, they just strip all the feathers right off the bird. Everything comes out here. And then once this process is done, they get moved over here. And this is where we're taking the legs off, taking the head off, and then it further comes over here for the further processing, and then finally moving over there to chicken parts. So once we get a little bit further, we'll show you what the finished product looks like. Some time has passed. Truck bed is empty. We're actually cleaning up all of the dirty side of the operation, and this whole station has been torn down, and now we're into the actual full processing. So quartering the chickens, separating some parts, and then eventually they'll move over to the freezer bag section here. We are keeping 8 full birds just for some winter chicken dinner at a later time. But yeah, pretty short day. I mean, I think once we got the hot water going, maybe a couple hours have passed. Not even that. Now it's just making sure we're doing this sanitary and zip sealing them up and icing them and taking them home and enjoying. That's a day of life on a farm. Yeah, that's where your food comes from. Next time you're thinking about buying some chicken, support your local farmers. It may be a little bit more expensive, but the good thing is you know where it came from. And that's the great part about this. I know where my food came from because I raised it and I took care of it and I processed it. And there's just a really good feeling about that. So yeah, anyway, on to whatever we're doing after all of this. All right, we out here, man. We at Tyler's house today. It's Burpee Bubbles time. Just finished pulling out the old welder and welding the bungs shut for the old AIV system. Too easy. It took maybe, what, 10, 15 minutes. We just topped off the coolant. I told you guys before when it ran like a champ. Hopefully it still does today. The only other thing we need to do is the power steering system. We're just gonna get the battery connected. I think we're in a place where we're ready. We're just gonna make sure everything else is set, conditions are right. We'll get her fired up, and yeah, you'll be there when we fire it up. All right, here we are. A little bit of a delay of game. Just had to rewire this coolant sensor. Totally forgot the wires had snapped here. So now all the wiring should be good. We reconditioned all the wiring back there last time, and it, like I said, it ran mint. I just didn't have it to show you. I think it's time to fire it up and start working on these Burpee Bubbles. And hopefully the exhaust isn't too loud. The rear sections don't fit quite right, and they're not very well gasketed. There we go, a little bit of belt noise, but she's running smooth. That's not too shabby. All right, shut up, belts. All right, she's been running for a while. Sounds super smooth. Every once in a while it gets this weird bog and then it comes right back up. We did get some Burpee Bubbles, but less than I expected. But she's still running great. The idle's come down quite a bit. Not sure what the bogging is, but I mean, everything else is fine. Did find one exhaust leak somewhere back on this header here. So not sure if that's where the bung was welded shut for the EGR or if it's the actual tri-flange to the exhaust itself. Obviously it's too hot to check any of that stuff out now, but we'll get to it eventually. But yeah, man, she's running great. I think we're about to switch her off because we're getting kind of gassed out here. But just give me your thoughts, man. Where are you at with this?
Ecstatic.
Yeah.
And it's just brakes and then banging gears.
That's right. That's right. Unfortunately, we can't do a test drive right now because none of the brakes are bled. Mission accomplished for today.
Hell yeah, mission accomplished.
Yeah. Every day we're one step closer, and thank God this isn't like working on Diego's car where it's his daily driver and everything's a freaking emergency. So I appreciate that.
Thanks for having another car. Honda.
See?
There's a bog.
It's interesting. And then it'll come right back. That's all right. These are all the little gremlins we gotta take care of and tune out once all the other systems are normal. It's kind of hard to get a really good read on what's going on just with the exhaust not being totally quiet. So yeah, the quieter this thing is, the more we can address what's going on. But yeah, we out here, man. Resurrected from the dead. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling, indeed. All right, this won't be the last you see of Tyler Z, but this is probably one of the biggest, most significant things next to the first drive, right? first drive is gonna be great. So just a couple more things to make that first drive safe. And then obviously just double check like the timing, the throttle position, the idle control, all the other things. And probably just let this sit for a while and then come back and try to burp it one more time. Oh, see there, we're getting some burps now. I'm just not sure if the thermostat's being stubborn or what, but I think it is. I think this thermostat's stubborn because now it's starting to actually burp. That's the most activity we've seen in a while, and that's good. We are getting heat inside the car. All right, we're gonna call it a wrap and just finish a couple things up, and I'll see you at whatever we're doing next.
All right, another Tuesday here. Yes, another Tuesday. I'm just wrapping up a couple things here in the garage. On the Pink Z, I have basically stripped everything out of the engine bay, every line, everything, every little clip, every plug. Really what I'm trying to do here is there is some significant battery damage and some significant brake fluid damage. I'm waiting on some super rust remover / corrosion preventer. Should be here Thursday or Friday, at which time I'm gonna start treating this car, and then we're gonna do some touch-up paints. Just try to make this thing look nice. Ultimately, she wanted it tucked, she wanted it clean, she wanted it nice, and handing it back like this, it's just, that's not what BC do. I'm doing a little bit of extra because that's the kind of product I want to turn around. Otherwise, brakes are done, just waiting on pads. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I am actually out of time for today. I am headed to the hospital to pick up Mrs. BC. Today is treatment number 2, Tuesday. 2 weeks ago, Tuesday was her first treatment. Didn't really talk about it, didn't come on the net, but I'll put up a picture of her getting her first treatment. By the time I get there now to pick her up, she will have already been done. My daughter was actually in town this weekend and took her to her second treatment, so they got some time together and my daughter gets to see what that experience is like. She's doing good, and I guess we'll see what this second treatment brings, and again, continue to greatly appreciate all of your guys' support and your prayers and your thoughts, and just thank you very much. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. It's insane to think this is episode 99. I want to do something special for the next episode. I don't know yet what I'm gonna do, but yeah, something soon, guys. I'm trying to find a pace within all this new chaos, and I just appreciate your continued patience and support. Oh, one other thing. I got bored the other day. By the way, today is the Tuesday, the devil's armpit of a Tuesday. Freaking hottest Tuesday ever, dude. It's insane. I got kind of bored the other day, and yeah, I really cleaned and dusted and everything. I haven't done any polishing, but she's looking so good. Haven't taken her out in a while because until this recent heat wave, it's just been raining nonstop and crazy, and I live in the country, and coming and going to this house requires a dirt, muddy road, and what's the point of taking a clean car out on a dirt, muddy road? And now it's too hot to be driving around with no AC, so we'll get her out soon. Maybe that's what we do. Maybe we just do some like cool driving experience flybys, hooning around in the RVZ, man. Maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe that's what we need to do for episode 100 of the Tuesday Garage. So anyways, guys, I gotta get out to Mrs. BC. I love your face. Ciao a tutti and aloha. Bye-bye.